Welcome to Showcases with Nick, where we showcase successful businesses and they share how using Golden Protective Services products has benefited them and their customers. Get ready to learn about cool new businesses and what sets them apart from the rest. Now, let's get into today's show.
Hey guys, it's Nick here from GPS again with another Zoom showcase. Today we got Chuck's Flavor Train out of California today. How you doing, Chuck?
I'm good, busy, blessed, fat,
Awesome.
Happy, all that.
Exactly. That's the way.
Yeah.
You mentioned before we started recording this, you're in the gym early. I've seen that you have been in there a lot lately. I'm sure all your followers have seen the same thing. Apart from, daily grind, everything like that, what you do with food, everything like that, what keeps you going, really?
Family, first and foremost. Obviously fun, but family,
Exactly.
I cook, I grind, I work hard. I got the day job. I'm trying to get back in the gym and stay healthy for my family. I like to party, I like to eat, I like to have good times, but I want to keep doing those things with my family. So
Exactly.
Family always, when I'm not at the gym working out, not out back cooking with the family, my parents live close by. I visit them a lot.
Sweet.
They have a pool. So yeah, family always.
Awesome. It's really good to keep the family close. I'm Italian, so I understand the whole family atmosphere, how much it means. So just like a couple of the other people that we have done these showcases with, they mentioned family as well. And that's kind of what has been keeping them going. Let me tell us a little bit more about yourself, where you grew up, if you moved, life growing up, stuff like that, where you're from, all that kind of good stuff.
Absolutely. It's funny you mentioned being Italian. I noticed that right away. I saw the last name. I'm adopted, but my dad's Italian. So
sweet.
I identify strong Italian roots. But yeah, so born in Vallejo, the city I live now, oddly enough. But I actually grew up in Napa, California, big, wine country area. That's where the family that adopted me lives at. So awesome. I grew up out there, lived there up throughout high school, went to the JC nearby, the college nearby. I've lived basically all over the North Bay, Sonoma, Petaluma, Santa Rosa, Roanoke Park, now awesome. In East Bay, Vallejo. So I've always stayed close to my family. Leaving isn't something I ever could really fathom doing, But yeah, I met my wife. I worked after college. I worked at a group home for kids. That's where I met my wife. We went to college together, met her there. Got married 6 years ago now. My God, time flies by. I'm getting old, Nick. Getting real old.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. But yeah, so no, I've been in the same area my whole life. Met my wife, transitioned from, group home and working with kids to the family business, insurance, which if I'm speaking frankly sucks. Yeah, it's not fun. And then I got a smoker 5 years ago in December. And that's when everything, really took off as I got the smoker. And I've always cooked being a fat kid from an Italian family. But once I got the smoker, it was a game changer. And that's when, things really took off. And I'm just knocking on wood and counting my blessings every day, hoping that the luck doesn't run out,
Exactly. Talking more about yourself, I've always seen, and I'm sure everyone else that's going to be seeing the showcase can attest to the thing that makes you so, approachable and so is your energy. Is that something you've always had? Is it something that has come with time and family, like you said, supporting you, or what has been the driving force behind your ability to just make everyone feel welcome and stuff like that?
That's a really good question. I've had that question before, but not asked in that way. Sometimes I feel like it's awkward to answer, but I like the way you put that. No, I don't think it's something I ever really worked on. I would like to attribute it to my parents. Being adopted right there shows how loving and open they are. Growing up in Napa, I really had a great life. All my friends were super open and supportive. I was a big kid, I was 5'11", 300 pounds in fifth grade, and outside, I mean, of course there's some dumbasses out there, but for the most part, everyone was really cool, loving and supportive. And I saw my parents be like that and my friends be like that. And I think it's just kind of natural. I think that's I kind of struggle when people are abrasive or full of hate or anger or whatever. People put out that tough guy image. It's I wasn't always level-headed. You know, there was a point where I was like, not an angry kid, but you want to be Bill and I just realized that you can influence people one way or another, and you can influence them through fear or intimidation, or you can let it happen naturally. You know, if they want to, you know, and I think that's one of the things. Like when I worked at groups homes with kids, and I tell the boys, they always kids from gangs in Oakland and LA, whatever, that all come to this home I worked at, and it's like I tell them, man, it's like you have something. You know, there's a reason that 20 kids followed you on the street. Like you can take that same thing and turn that around and make that into something good. And so I think once I just became aware of, you know, the way your personality and outlook can impact and affect people, I just tried to have that in mind. But honestly, it comes naturally in the sense that I can be having a day an anxiety breakdown, and I'll be telling my wife, like, what am I doing? I want to pull my hair out. I can't go on like this. But I go into the store, and for whatever reason at the grocery store, I find myself, hey, how's it go? Like, I can't turn it off, you know. It's
contagious at that point.
Yeah, it's just, it is who I am. So, you know,
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, because that was definitely one of the things my boss, Chuck, I don't know if you've ever talked to him or anything like that before, but he was like, we need to get Chuck on this. We need to get Chuck on this. You know, his energy, positivity, that's what people need, especially, you know, this past year and a half, everything that our country's been going through, and you know, like racial injustice, we have the pandemic, we have, you know, homelessness and everything like that. He said, you know, Chuck, I've seen him, because you're one of our first, you know, like very prominent customers. So Chuck was like, we need to get Chuck's Flavor Train on here. We need to get the train moving and stuff like that. So I'm happy that we were able to get you on. So
no, me too. I appreciate the kind words. I'm not prominent. Only thing prominent or prolific about me is my waist size and how much alcohol I drink. But no, but you're right. It's a crazy year, and the one thing I realized, again, I'm not trying to make this a political thing or anything like that, because that's not what I'm about. But just in my life experiences, even trying to focus on the positive. It's like I even drive through my own city, and I tell my wife, it's like, man, it's like, it's just hard sometimes. It's like you see the people on the street, you see the people fighting, but then it's like, in my life though, things are great. Like things can be good. Like we can find a way to work. I can do what I can to, you know, make a change. Instead of getting mad at somebody that I disagree with, I can try to just connect with them on a basic level. And at the very least, if you hate everything funny and my food looks decent, that's a starting point. Let's just connect from there, and whatever else happens, let the dice fall and roll how they may, you know. So but I think people get caught up a little bit, and it's hard because the news, and we are going through it, but I was trying to say, take it day by day. You never know when you're going to die. I had a buddy pass away a couple of years back, and I was really struggling with depression at the time. And I told my wife, like, I don't want to die tomorrow being sad, lying in bed, and like that's how I go out, you know. So, yeah,
exactly.
So
Awesome.
It's easier said than done, but outlook is a lot of it. So
cool. Going back to some of your cooking things, what's one of your favorite things to cook out on the grill? I know you mentioned your smoker. Are you like a tri-tip guy? Are you, you know, straight brisket? What's your kind of go-to when you have, you know, the family over, you're bringing stuff over for the holidays or whatever?
Brisket's definitely the number one. I've kind of, just through social media, and I'm not saying I'm worthy of that or whatever, but brisket is sort of what I've become known for.
Gotcha.
And I love to cook it. I cook a lot of brisket. It's fun. There's not a lot of brisket in California, so I think that's why I kind of chose brisket. But yeah, brisket's always a fun cook. It's a big piece of meat. You never know what the cook is going to be like, and people don't get it a lot. So anytime you bring it out, it's like, ooh, what is that? You know? So
exactly. I think Chipotle has some competition with you now too. So I don't know if you've tried.
I'm really nervous. I'm very nervous, but we'll see. They might put me out of business.
Continuing, just like a short little, you know, like what has, I know we talked with Ohio Grill, and they said consistency with products is kind of why they have stuck with GPS and stuff like that. So maybe from you, like, what is it that, you know, like products, whether it be our gloves, whether it be the charcoal you use, what makes you stick with companies that you use?
The main thing for me is a quality product at an affordable price. You know, I'm not saying I'm a cheap guy, but I think that some companies, we're exclusive and we're artisanal or we're boutique, Give me something that's quality, reliable every time. I don't need some fancy marketing. If the product's good and I can acquire it quickly when I need it, especially like catering right now, you know, at a reasonable price, that's what I'm looking for. And as long as the product stands up to the test of time, you know, and it's, you know, it doesn't have to be the best of the best of the best, you know, for certain items. Gloves like yours, I would say they are the best of the best, and the price is amazing.
I appreciate that.
That's why I just bought 4 more boxes. They just got delivered last night. They're right here. This is no BS. I've been wearing them all morning because I'm catering. Like I said, I use them for everything: hot prep, clean prep, germs, all that. So, but yeah, and then Jealous Devil Charcoal is another big one I like. Cool. In my opinion, that is a pricier item, but the quality, once I've tried all kind of different charcoals, in that instance, I tried it, saw the difference, can't go back. So I think it's a difference. If it affects what you're doing, then you can't make a substitution in the case of charcoal. If you can find a quality product that's reliable, that you love, like the gloves, for example, why change? And I don't even care anymore. I don't know if you guys have noticed, this is a side tangent, this is not a paid promo. Glove prices, I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of at some of these places right now. There are certain companies, I'm not going to name names, that I messed with before the pandemic, and not even as a sponsor. I buy the product, whatever, $16 to $22 for a pack of gloves, 38 to 40 now. You know what I'm saying? For that same thing. It's like, and I understand that, but it's like, I can't justify that. And your gloves are thicker and better. So why would I pay double when the product was, it just, that's a side note. So
exactly. It's good that we have people out there that notice, you know, like, because of, you know, stuff stuck out at port and all that, it kind of does, you know, influence our prices, but we're not out here spending money on paid stuff, paid advertisement. It's just organically growing. And it's good that someone like you know, like one of our top customers, one of our lifelong customers, can realize those kind of things. So I appreciate that, and
100%.
Appreciate everything on and the support through the years. It means more than
I figured you guys were confident in the product because you reached out on Instagram like, we're going to send you a sample of gloves. So I'm like, okay, dope.
Yeah,
literally 2 gloves, like I mean, like, and I'm like, okay, like, well, you know, and I tried it, and I told my wife, I'm like, oh my god, like there's only 2, but these are like super legit, and that's all it took. So clearly you were confident though, because normally people send box, I'm like 2 gloves, but I'm like, shoot, that's all I needed, and I was sold. So
cool, awesome. Looking more into your future, you know, I know you do the whole catering thing and, you know, your full-time stuff, but is there anything, you know, in the works right now, or anything that you can touch on about what, you know, your community, barbecue community, even us, can look forward to in the future?
Absolutely, yeah. So I do have some things in the works, nothing that I can officially talk about, because nothing's confirmed as far as potential TV stuff. 6 months ago, I wouldn't have even talked about it, but now I feel like if you put things out there, it brings positivity back. So maybe that'll happen. Outside of that, I'll be in Las Vegas from the 21st to the 23rd. 23rd to the 25th, 23rd to the 25th this month for the National Hardware Show. I'll be representing Team Jealous Devil, so stop by if you're in Vegas. National Hardware Show. I'll be flying out to Florida beginning of next month. Wild Fork Foods, we did a giveaway. They picked a winner, so the winner's in Florida. That's all I'm going to say, but I'll be out there. Anybody else in Florida, stay tuned. I also got some pop-ups that I'll be doing out here, and I'm also trying to set up something at one of the breweries here in Vallejo. So anyone that's in Vallejo, my home city, I'm trying to get you guys unlocked. Outside of that, you'll see my big fat ugly face all over the internet.
That's awesome. That's awesome. One more thing, it's kind of just for, you know, like a broad kind of thing. I don't know. GPS has recently started a TikTok. I know you don't like the word prevalent or anything like that, but you're very active on social media. Any words of advice for people that are just starting out? You know, I talked to Sable's Table last showcase. I'm not sure if you know him that well, but he reiterated and just said, you know, you got to keep it fun. You got to, you know, like if you're not doing something, you're not having fun with it, there's no point. So what is kind of words of advice for, you know, getting an audience, growing that audience, stuff like that for the community that we are both a part of?
Man, so one, don't wait as far, you know, I remember when I started TikTok, people were like, well, you're on that app. People that are trying to get on TikTok now used to make fun of me for being on there. And part of it's like, you're too late. And I don't want to say you're too late, because you're never too late. The big boom is probably past. The pandemic has kind of over in the sense that people are going back to work. But the one thing that can draw people in every day is they want consistent, fun, fresh content. What I mean by consistent, posting every day for a week and disappearing, that's what a lot of people do. You're not going to blow up in a week. I didn't blow up in a week. You know, I posted on TikTok every day for a year straight, basically, you know. So be actually consistent. Post stuff that's unique to yourself. People try to copy, oh, it worked for this guy. People will make the same exact video I do where I'll take a knife, cuts like butter, whatever. It doesn't do well because people don't associate that and they think you're copying. I don't care. I'm not originating that, but you have to put your own spin on it at the very least. You want to see things that are unique to you. And then lastly, have fun. There are times where I'm thinking, why am I posting? I didn't want to make this. Don't post. If you're not going to post something that's fun to you, people are going to tell it's not fun. So take a break. Take the time you need to feel rejuvenated, to feel refreshed, and come back with some dope content. So consistent, unique, fun. Outside of that, don't worry about anything else. You know, I don't think my goal was ever to blow up on TikTok. And sometimes to me, it's almost like, not that I wish it didn't happen, but I wish I would have been more prepared. If I would have thought about it, I'd have had a genius marketing plan. So you've got a plan, just be consistent, have fun, and everything else will take care of itself.
Perfect. I know you mentioned you're from, you know, the Bay region. Are you have any plans for watching football this weekend, cooking anything up for the games, or what's going on?
Weekend vibes is always the Bang Bang Niner Gang. That's where the flavor gang came from, is the Niner Gang. People, some Bay Area people get that, not a lot of people associate it with that.
Gotcha. I honestly never knew either, but it's all making sense now. So
gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Awesome.
Bang Bang Niner Gang is a big thing out here. So this weekend I'm not sure what I'll make up. I have a brisket resting right now that I got to actually go wrap up in a minute for a gig later. But I bought 2. I always get an extra brisket, so I'll probably cook a brisket Sunday. And then I'll probably do some ribs and wings. You got to have wings and ribs.
Exactly. Have to.
Absolutely.
Cool.
So who's your football team?
You know, Carrollton's pretty close to Cleveland. So big Browns fan. I've been through, you know, everything. My dad was through the cardiac kids, you know, anything about that. And so it's been a long process, but I think we finally, you know, have a squad that can put points on the board and a defense that can prevent points from going on the board.
Definite potential. Absolutely.
Exactly. Cool. Well, I'll let you go get to that brisket. I want to thank you again for, you know, taking your time out of your busy day. I know you don't really have a lot of time with how busy you are and everything that you do. So I just want to thank you for that and continue this relationship through the years.
Absolutely. And thank you for your time. I'm busy because people like you were gracious enough to deal with my dumb ass. So thank you for making me busy. I appreciate it. And absolutely,
no problem.
Again, it's a real relationship. You got a customer, a fan, and a friend for life, bro. So
awesome.
And if ever out here, you guys better hit me up from one adopted Italian to another. If you don't hit me up when you're here, I'd feel disrespected. So
I understand. All right, man. It was nice talking to you. I'll see you. Yeah.
Cheers. Have a good one. Much love.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Showcases with Nick. To stay updated on our latest content and products, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Golden Protective Services, on Facebook at GPS Golden Protective Services, and check out our YouTube channel, Golden Protective Services. If you are or know a business who uses Golden Protective Services and would like to share your experience with our listeners on a future episode, please contact Nick at goldenprotective.com. Thank you, and we look forward to connecting with you.